Ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties not in our way. My name is Nick Cavalli.
My name is Marques White.
And we welcome you to the Revolution. So, whatever day you may be viewing this on, this is meant to be put out on Tuesday.
Yeah, this is a Monday Night Raw review. It will go live on Tuesday, hopefully, fingers crossed. If it's not YouTube screwing us, it's Nick's computer screwing us. And if it's not Nick's computer screwing us, then it's other things screwing us.
Yeah, we have literally the worst of luck, and it might have to do with the fact that our setup cost us a whole like $400, and that's because I just used a fossil of a computer to run the editing software, the audio software, the audio mixing software,
the GoPro software.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many things.
Yeah. So if anybody would like to donate towards a new computer, or maybe just better antivirus software, that'd be nice.
We've already lost access to Google Chrome.
Rest in peace, Chrome.
Thank God for Firefox. But, yes, so we do want to apologize, obviously, for getting up the Wednesday Night War video a couple days late, and then, obviously, for the lack of a Friday Night SmackDown review.
But you know what? I'm not apologizing for that, because guess what? The Friday Night SmackDown review is done.
For now. Yeah.
Gone. Dead. Eliminated. Deleted.
Well, barring John Cena does anything worthwhile this Friday night. But
deleted.
We are actually planning on doing something a little bit different for your, I guess it would be Saturday nights. But we'll talk more about that at another time.
We'll get into it probably a little bit towards the end of the show. I'll give you a couple of the ideas that we might be bringing up and get you guys excited, jazzed up for what may wind up being our best show out of everything.
Yeah, I'll say it's going to be more exciting than Monday Night Raw was tonight because on a certain person's grading scale, I put this at a solid 2. So,
I put this at a solid 40-minute nap in the middle of Raw. So,
yeah.
Honestly, I knew coming into tonight after seeing the matches that had been announced that I was not excited. And aside from the first match and the last 3, which all happened, the last 3 matches took up as much time as the first match.
Yeah.
Everything else sucked.
Yeah, so Raw, you've been on this like weird bell curve vibe of like going up and then going down, then going up, and right now you are down. You're not SmackDown dog food levels of bad, but you're definitely like just kind of resting like here is like you're trending downwards, and I need you to go back up. We need some consistency here, Raw.
For those of you who are roller coaster fans, Raw is going on the Magnum XL 2000 tour. Just all of the hills, or maybe the Millennium Force. SmackDown
is dragster.
No, that implies the highest of highs. SmackDown is disaster transport. It was dismantled and replaced by something better.
Yikes. And
it was underground the whole time anyways.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, SmackDown review. I'm not even mad. Not even mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you brand spanking new original content on Fridays. How exciting is that? We come up with stuff now. We don't just tell you how bad their stuff is.
Yes. So, like I said, we'll touch on that at another time, potentially in this video. So, we're going to get into this Monday Night Raw review. Raw was, of course, live for the first time in 15 years, they said?
15 years.
15 years from Winnipeg, Canada. Just Winnipeg, Canada, by the way, because apparently they don't do provinces anymore.
Welcome to Winnipeg, Canada. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
That'd be like saying live from Michigan, United States.
No, that's Detroit, United States right there.
Detroit, United States. Like, huh?
Yeah. So we're live from Winnipeg, where one Y2J is from,
And it did not take long for the Jericho chants to start.
Y2J chant within the first 5 minutes of the show.
And once again, we kick things off with Randall Keith. Randall Keith. He comes out. And he just wants you to know that he's so sorry.
I'm truly
sorry.
Sorry. I'm truly sorry.
I'm truly sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Stupid.
Oh my god, this angle is taking too long.
I really want Randy's theme song to just start off with the I'm truly sorry. Kind of like what's his name back in the Kane angle, when he the whole Lita pregnancy with the it wasn't my fault, kind of like that type of deal.
I am in the top 1%.
Oh, rest in peace, EC3.
Well, he'll get his shot to shine somewhere someday.
Ironically, MJF is just biting off his gimmick in AEW.
Now, could you imagine that feud?
I could. I want it badly. Battle of the 1%ers. Or you could push EC3 in WWE, but we're not gonna do that.
He's already planning to leave.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is the Randy feud just this whole thing? I mean, Mania is only a month and a half away.
Well, there's reasons for this. The main reason is that you can't do a lot with Edge because they're taking extreme precaution with him. Reportedly, he's only going to be appearing at special events. And even if he doesn't make appearances at a Raw or whatever, it's going to be in a non-wrestling capacity. He's only wrestling at pay-per-views.
So he's going to be Brock?
Well, the difference is he has legit reasons. So
does Brock. Money. So
they're trying to be safe with Edge. I get it. But, the build for this has been, less than stellar. I get that you're trying to protect Edge. You're trying to sell the injury. It's not, I don't want to be the person to complain about, for once, somebody selling an injury in wrestling. So let's not be those guys.
Then there's Matt Hardy.
And then there's, he sold it-ish. he came out in a neck brace the next week, and then he got.
How long did you think that a medical facility can hold an abomination such as me?
Yeah, so I do wish that. Okay, it's been a month. I think, now probably next week or so, or they're probably waiting until after Super Showdown, or hell, probably even after Elimination Chamber. Let's get into this. You could have Edge even appear via live stream, and they actually did announce that Beth Phoenix is going to be appearing next week on Raw to talk about Edge's condition.
$10 she takes a concerto.
Yikes! Yeah. So. Yeah, she will be appearing next week to talk about Edge's condition, so hopefully that does lead into us, let's get it back into this feud. Now you've had a couple weeks to, mess around with Matt Hardy, and now this week, Senora Kevin Owens, as he comes out, Canada's favorite son,
Kevin Owens!
to confront Randy Orton, and I called it as soon as he came out, because we were like, why is Kevin Owens? And then I said, because Canada, and then immediately followed by Tom Phillips, the hometown hero.
It's Canada's own!
So, yeah, because Canada. So, Randy says that he needs to apologize, and that his emotions have become unbalanced. Then Kevin Owens comes out, he says that, Randy Orton, before he comes out, says that it's been 15 years since they've been in Winnipeg. He was 24, and thanks to the internet, he knows that he was the Intercontinental Champion, and that he was punched in the face by Adam. But you know him as Edge.
I was punched in the face, and it saved me. Y2J, Y2J, Y2J.
Well, and then this was also followed by a "We Want Edge" chant. And then Randy says, "I'm sorry, but Edge can't be here because of what I did to him over a month ago. And I know that no one could understand why I attacked him." but just know I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. And then, of course, yes, Kevin Owens comes out, pauses for a little bit as the crowd is chanting his name, and he says, I had to pause for the Kevin Owens chant. And he says that he's used to dealing with delusional people as he's been dealing with the Monday Night Moron and his disciples for the past few weeks. So he says...
their buddy Murphy.
And their buddy Murphy. Get it? Yeah, give him his name back. So he says, Randy, I want to know why. He talks about how he watched Edge when he was coming up through the indie scene, when he's a fan of wrestling. He was always the biggest fan of WWE, and that he watched Edge retire. That he always wanted to get in the ring with Edge. And then, thanks to what Randy did, when he finally saw Edge back in the ring, he said, maybe I could get that match, and Randy took that away from him. So he wants to know why. Randy follows us up by making a joke saying, you think you know me? Edge thought he know me.
You think you know me?
And Kevin Owens says, that's cute, you're funny. You know what? I think the people here are tired of hearing us talk. I'm tired of talking. I want to fight. Randy goes, okay, you want to fight? You want to fight me tonight? You want to fight me? That's fine, I accept, but not now. And then he rolls out the ring. And that's how we kicked off Monday Night Raw.
Slow build.
Yeah, slow builds.
And ladies and gentlemen, it comes early.
Yeah, for the first time ever, I believe. Ladies and gentlemen, Latino Hour is in the first hour of Monday Night Raw. Arriba!
Oh, boy, oh, boy. And you know what? Fun fact, Zelina Vega is my new favorite female in WWE. She plays Magic the Gathering. I respect it. She was at a comic shop recently with Alistair Black hanging out, picking up new... Sorry about the squeaking noise in the microphone. Picking up new Magic cards in addition to some new comics and some new figurines. So, mad respect. Oh, were you expecting me to keep going there? Because that's all I had.
It kind of was.
That's all I had for you.
Bad time for a sip, I guess.
It's almost like we haven't done this in 5 days.
Yeah. So, we get an interview with...
Charlie Caruso?
Yeah, but I was going to say we get an interview with Angel Garza talking about how they're going to deal with Umberto Carrillo, and then he's going to take the top spot on Monday Night Raw.
And by top spot, does he mean top spot or like top spot in Latino Hour?
Yeah, probably top spot in Latino Hour because he took Ray's place and then who took Andrade's place, so I guess. But, yeah, so then Angel looks to Charlie Caruso, grabs her hand and goes, there's business, then there's pleasure. But with you, Charlie, business is always a pleasure. What a guy. What a guy.
He really is a man's man.
Smooth, Mr. Garza. I give you... That's worth 4. So, yes, so we get Angel Garza versus Umberto Carrillo. And this was a great match. A little long. There were 4 commercial breaks during this match. All the rest holds. But no, it was great. These two have amazing chemistry in the ring. They put on the best action of Latino Hour. And
most importantly, Angel Garza took off his pants.
Yeah. All kidding aside, this was a great match. But Garza wins with the roll-up. So... Cool, yeah. I don't like. Again, it's a great match, but there's a reason why we call this Latino Hour because this doesn't build to anything. Nothing of this in this feud is of any consequence.
And it literally is just WWE saying, "Hey, we have minorities."
And
good work.
Well, you got to think about it too. I mean, from WWE's perspective, if you had just stripped Andrade of the title, you wouldn't have this problem of just doing matches like this over and over again until he comes back. Because you can tell WWE right now is just scrambling to like come up with something to entertain for an hour every week until Andrade is gone from the 30 days. But why didn't you just take the title off of him? There goes your problem right there. I get that Andrade's your guy, that he's now he's engaged to Charlotte Flair, so I guess that makes him like royalty now, I guess. But you don't have to like make Raw suffer because you're trying to prop somebody else up who violated
your wellness
policy. So
I mean, look, if you're gonna take the Dusty Rhodes Classic trophy off of NXT for violating the wellness policy, you gotta think Andrade would be stripped of his title.
Exactly. So.
Which, it's a sham. It's a sham. That Dusty Rhodes Classic trophy, it never did anything wrong. I promise you that.
So, we then cut to Ricochet versus Luke Gallows, and Ricochet looked like he missed his cue for his entrance there. They cut to the stage, they got the spotlight and the ramp, and there's no Ricochet to be found.
And he just kind of scurries out.
Yeah, he's like, does a little pose, and we're just like, okay. Don't know what was up with that. But yeah, Ricochet versus Luke Gallows. This was an alright match.
Big man, small man.
Yeah, I mean, at no point, again, did I think that Gallows was going to win. It's a shame because he's one half of the best tag team in the world. God, it's the best.
You do realize they have to have a best tag team in the world tournament next time they go to Saudi Arabia now, right?
Yeah. Or you could just, make them show why they're the best tag team in the world. But no, you're not going to do that.
And the fact that AJ, after the match, recognizes it.
Yeah.
Hey, aren't you two supposed to be the best tag team in the world?
Well, it's funny because that's actually like, you kind of saw something similar to that in AEW. Remember when Hangman calls out the Young Bucks for not winning the titles?
Yep.
So, it's kind of funny. But, yeah, Ricochet wins this match with a shooting star press, as Nick acknowledged. We cut to the back of the OC arguing, and then AJ says they need to focus, says that a miracle, and it would be a miracle, it could happen at Super Showdown, and that Ricochet could beat Brock Lesnar.
Please no.
I love Ricochet. You're great. Really, you are. Just no. Like, I don't want to be that guy. I always root for like the underdog, like the indie darling. Like, I know, but this isn't like a Sami Zayn or like even a Dan O'Brien or like a Seth Rollins at one point type of scenario where like I just feel like, no, I just don't care. I don't know what Ricochet would do as champion, especially considering you have a match against Drew McIntyre at Mania. And while that'd be an alright match, the match everybody wants to see is Brock versus Drew McIntyre. So then you can take the title off of Brock after that and do whatever you want.
Now rumors have come out.
Yes, they have.
They have an opponent for Brock Lesnar following WrestleMania, building into the next pay-per-view, which would be SummerSlam, and it is none other than Bob.
There are rumors as well that Brock might not even make it to WrestleMania as champion, that it would actually be Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, which, please no, I don't want that match at all.
Especially because Seth doesn't lose.
Yeah, I have no interest in that feud whatsoever, so let's just hope that that's real. Never thought I would hope for Brock Lesnar to remain champion, but...
I just had the most beautiful image, though. A stained glass belt. Where right behind the WWE logo, it's just stained glass.
Oh, I kind of want that now.
Oh, shoot.
Or just, like, have it, like, radiate light.
Yes. Like, instead of the... We need to talk about this. We need to call Vince, because we have a direct line to him, clearly.
Yep. So, let's move on here, because...
To Brock.
I don't...
Brock.
Yes,
Brock.
Yeah, Bork Laser and Paul Heyman come out. And Paul states that Brock owes Ricochet one, calls him the master of the uppercut, and then says that whenever Brock Lesnar is wrestling, it's a special event because it doesn't happen often. You're damn right it doesn't. This leads to boos from the crowd, to which Paul Heyman quotes the Book of Rollins, saying that, "Thou shalt not boo thine advocate."
This is the word of the Lord, the gospel according to Seth.
Yes. Amen. So, he then talks about how if Ricochet beats Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown, that he could go on to face Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania.
Main event WrestleMania.
But then he says,
"But if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle."
But she don't. Quite the image there, Paul.
I mean, I don't know that I would have ever expected that to be heard on WWE television, but I like it. I like it.
Quite the image there, Paul.
I like it a lot.
Then says that he's been saying this for years now, and he's going to keep on doing it, that this is not a prediction, this is a spoiler, that Brock Lesnar is going to beat Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, and then Brock Lesnar is going to be done with Drew McIntyre, and then he will be your WWE champion then, now, and forever.
So that means they're retiring the title? I'm okay with that.
Nah, it just means Brock's just going to never lose
Show up.
ever, which he already doesn't do either, so nothing changes. Status quo, cool, new era, same mode, you get the idea. So, next we get the match everybody wants. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, earlier, Alistair Black passed by and got jumped by the OC. Yeah, didn't really care.
And this is where I fall asleep.
So... yeah, he fell asleep during a good portion of Raw. I was struggling to stay awake.
And by good portion, you just mean chunk of time because it was not good in quality.
Yeah, so Rowan versus Alistair Black. Alistair...
2. Rowan versus Alistair Black, 2.
Yeah, back-to-back weeks.
Good call.
Alistair hard selling the attack from the OC from his entrance to the start of the match. The whole match just... selling the injury, although completely able to fight off everything Rowan was doing. I mean, kind of speaks to the lack of, I guess, power, or I don't even know how to say this. I mean, if Rowan, you can't even beat a less than 50% Alistair Black, how am I supposed to take you seriously?
I would say it has a lot to do with the in-ring psychology booking of WWE in this case. I mean, you should still have Alistair Black go over. That's fine, but those two need to work on an in-ring show for 3 or 4 minutes where Erick Rowan looks like he's getting the upper hand. He's hitting moves on Alistair Black, but Black's able to just get out of the big ones. Weasel his way out of the Iron Claw slam, but get caught with Uranagi or something like that.
Yeah, it was just like out the gate. It was a back and forth match, which this should not have been back and forth. This should have been a borderline squash match. This should have been like what you saw AEW do last week with like
Cobb and
Moxley, or Cody and Wardlow. Like, it should have been a mauling with the latter just barely surviving. Like, that's how you book a match like that. Instead, you had Alistair at some points looking stronger than Erick Rowan, which that's not how this is supposed to go. And then you redo the same spot. So prior to the finish of this match, the pet gets knocked over. Rowan runs into the steel stairs, knocking over the cage. Who cares? And then we get the repeated spot from last week in a repeat match. 2 black masks to take out Erick Rowan for the win. He then has an interview on the ramp saying that he won by rage and that he's going to unleash all of that rage on AJ Styles next week. And he's got a message for everyone that thinks he's being too cryptic. It means next week he's going to fight AJ Styles. So a little shot at some of the critics that he, speaks too cryptically or he's not clear enough in his promos. Have you heard of The Undertaker? So, cool. That means next week we're actually going to get a match that I care about. So looking forward to that. Let's move on now to an interview with Drew McIntyre. So I liked this. This was kind of like, diving into sort of Drew McIntyre's history, talking about everything he's done, how he got to this point. They spoke on his original stint with the company, how he was handpicked by Vince McMahon, the chosen one, supposed to be the future of WWE. And then nothing happened. He became a jobber. He was in the what was it even called? Like the air guitar boy band. I don't even remember what it was called. Three-man band, yeah. Just making an absolute mockery of himself around the world. And then which would inevitably lead to his release from the company. He said that when he was released, he had a chip on his shoulder, that he was angry, and that he wanted to prove everybody wrong. And he did do that. If you watched McIntyre on the indie scene, he was phenomenal. He definitely changed his physique, completely reinvented himself, and he said he realized when he looked at himself in the mirror that man in the mirror was the reason that he got released. He had no one to blame but himself, and he realized that he had to get back to WWE because he didn't want to be the man that people just kept saying how much potential he had, how he was the future. Because eventually, if he didn't realize that potential, people would just say that he was the past. So he had to realize his present. And he said that his first return to WWE wasn't to Raw or SmackDown, but it was to NXT. And it had to happen that way, not just for his career, but because that is where he could prove himself. He talked about his relationship with Triple H. And he talked about that, ironically, when he returned to Monday Night Raw, it was 4 years to the date of his release. So everything has come full circle. He would, of course, go on to eliminate Brock Lesnar and then win the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble. He ends off this interview by saying that he doesn't care who he fights at WrestleMania. He just knows that he's going to achieve his dream. So, amazing stuff from Drew McIntyre. Great way to kind of reintroduce him to the audience, to show that he's a serious contender, why he's here. Build backstory. It's something that WWE doesn't do a lot with the main roster nowadays. So I'm glad that we got to see that today. Good job on you that Monday Night Raw. It's like one of the few good things you did tonight. And then we cut to the premiere of Truth TV with R-Truth, with Lana and Bob.
I woke up for about a minute and a half of this. Oh, R-Truth.
So, Truth says that when he first heard that he was going to have an interview with Bob, that he was so excited that he's got all these questions, and then Lana cuts him off, and he's like, she goes, Truth, we're not here for your stupid interview. We're here because you have a match with Bob tonight. And then she tells the referee to ring the bell. Truth goes, whoa, wait. Bob is a very, very, very big man. I don't want to fight Bob. I'd rather just interview him. And then he asks, so Bob, have you seen Sonic the Hedgehog? To which Lana responds, ring the bell! Ring the bell! And I guess Lana just has that authority because they ring the bell. Truth then goes, oh, wait. Can I at least take my clothes off first? So then he gets out of his jacket, and then he's immediately attacked by Bob. So this match goes on for just a couple minutes. R-Truth hits the John Cena 5 moves of doom, goes for the AA, reversed into a spear. 1, 2, 3. Funny stuff from Truth, but again, a segment that amounts to nothing, means nothing. And speaking of meaning nothing, we get a contract signing for the Women's Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah, okay. This is where I officially wake up and go, what is going on?
So, normally, I know that for those of you that may not be super into wrestling, you're probably thinking, well, what's wrong about that? I mean, it's a match, you know. Fighters normally have contract signings for their matches. It's not really how things work in pro wrestling. In wrestling, you normally have contract matches for two type of matches. One, if it's a match with like a special, like unsanctioned like stipulation when it comes to like a rivalry that's been building forever, like the Daniel Bryan Fiend strap match, or if it's a championship match, you'll have a contract signing for that. This does fall under special stipulation, but why? It doesn't. No, like you don't.
Well, because for the first time ever, there's going to be women in that structure. Okay. Let's pretend the women tag titles don't exist.
Yeah, this didn't need to happen. You could tell they were just scrambling to come up with something to do tonight. Again, no one really cares about the Women's Elimination Chamber match because only one woman's going to win, and everyone knows it's going to be Shayna Baszler.
And if somehow it's not, what are you doing?
What are you doing unless you just have a master plan? Which, who am I to doubt the combined brilliance of Paul Heyman and Vince McMahon, right? So
you would think Paul Heyman would be able to book this show better.
You were supposed to be the chosen one.
You were the chosen one, Paul. You were supposed to destroy WWE, not join them.
So, for some reason, they got Lawler out here moderating this contract signing. It just all the women are uncomfortable.
As they should be.
And immediately as Lawler starts talking, Asuka grabs the mic, starts, as I assume, cussing him out in Japanese, and then says, why isn't Shayna here? She counts. It's a 6-woman Elimination Chamber match. There's only 5 women out here. The hell's Shayna? To which Lawler responds, I don't know. Cool.
We get a signature from Natalya, one from Liv. Liv then carries the contract over to Ruby Riott and the uncomfortable stare down.
Yeah.
Ruby signs.
Asuka
signs.
And then we get Shayna Baszler's theme song hits.
Shayna comes out. She signs.
She comes through the crowd.
Shayna Baszler!
Yeah, I'm definitely getting female Moxley vibes from Shayna Baszler, which is a good thing, by the way, so good job with that. Yeah, she comes in the ring. Her and Natalya stare down.
And then...
Because Canada, I guess?
And then Asuka starts assumingly cussing her out and then goes, bite me.
Yeah, she just kind of tosses Natalya out the way and is like, no one wants to see this. This is what the people really want to see.
Bite me.
Huh? This leads to Natalya attacking Asuka, and then all the women fight as Shayna just kind of stands there and watches the chaos. You got, like, crew members removing the chairs and tables from the ring, women beating each other down, referees trying to break it up, and Shayna's just...
Of course, we missed the best part, where Shayna signs a contract and King goes, all right, I'm going to get out of here now.
Yeah. And then she's just like, yeah, enjoying the chaos, just watching. And then... here comes the man as Becky Lynch arrives in the arena, comes out to the ring, and then they fight. Though their fight doesn't last long, as immediately security and the refs break up that fight. We get a let them fight chant, and then we go to commercial break. So... again, one of the few things I cared about. Like, the only thing from the segment that I definitely cared about. Like, as soon as Becky's music hit, I just went, all right, now I'm interested. Now I care again. So, we then get the Street Profits coming out next. They mentioned that they have a title match at Super Showdown, a tag team championship match. And then it's announced that it's going to be Dawkins versus Murphy. And Phillips has a country accent.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Tom Phillips starts talking like this in the middle of matches and then going back to his Tom Phillips accent. And
then going back into his country accent. Yeah, like this starts in this match. First thing he says is, and down goes Murphy. And what?
Somebody spilled water on their Android.
Yeah, I don't... And this would continue, by the way, for the remainder of the night.
So the first of the two matches gets a DQ finish.
Yeah, Rollins breaks up the fall. And then I guess we're going to just leave, say screw the next match. And then this is where things kind of get interesting. Montez Ford grabs the microphone, calls out Seth Rollins and says that that's okay. Dawkins hit Murphy so hard they removed his first name. And he says, I'm going to do the same to you. And Rollins just like, you're going to do that to me.
Me. You don't even go here.
Yeah, so.
Oh, line of the century. That and...
Your ass is mine.
Next week, your ass is mine.
Yeah, so. Two best lines of 2020. So, yeah, we get now Montez Ford versus Rollins in I don't even want to say surprisingly, because Montez Ford is amazing and so is Seth Rollins. A good match. Montez Ford, by the way, I could be wrong, but I believe this is his first singles match on Monday Night Raw.
I would guess.
Yeah, he looked really good. This wasn't just what you'd expect, Rollins just squashing Montez, but it was actually like a pretty back and forth match. Montez was actually even on top for a good portion of this match. He looked really good.
Giggity.
He's amazing in the ring.
Wow, that didn't even trip you up.
I
just come to expect that?
I just don't care anymore.
Jesus.
And I can't cut it at this point, and I'm not repeating myself, so yeah. So
you don't have to cut it, man. Now respond. Look, it's the raw, unedited emotion. That's what the people want, man.
Yeah, the people want giggity jokes. What is this, 2008? So,
I mean, it could be worse. I could have said that's what she said.
Yikes.
That's just as aged. And not aged as well.
Yeah, I mean, so are your mama jokes. We get those.
Those are right up my sleeve.
Yeah, you and Vince, I feel like, would get along great in booking shows.
Look, no, I don't think it should have any position in wrestling, but in wrestling commentary.
Yeah, so Seth Rollins does eventually win this match with a curb stomp. And then we get the announcement that this Wednesday, Charlotte Flair is coming back to NXT, and she's coming for Bianca Belair.
So we get Flair Belair.
Ha! It rhymes. Get it?
Why do you get to make those kind of cringy jokes and I can't make giggity jokes? Well, what is wrong with you? No. I am boycotting this here podcast until you tell me what's wrong with that.
Well, I mean, mine isn't necessarily a joke. It's more of like this is
it's
really
depressing.
Bad. It's depressing. Yeah, that's kind of the... Yeah, so... No one's meant to laugh at my humor. If you do, then I'm sorry.
If you laugh at his humor, there is something horribly wrong with you.
Just like if you like his wrestling ideas, there's probably something wrong with you, too.
Okay, well, there's something wrong with you, Mr. Stained Glass Belt is a good idea.
Hey, man. Hey, even what is it, like a blind squirrel?
Look, 9 out of 10 of my wrestling ideas are ingenious. The other one, Vince Russo would say no to.
Yeah, I think even Vince on his best day is not taking...
Look, ladder on a cell. Ladder on a cell.
No. So, we get to the main event.
Winner's champion, loser dies.
So we get the main event. It's Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Man, we're struggling to get to this review because Raw is just so bad.
Well, that's the thing. Look, I'm doing my best to add an entertainment factor. First of all, because I fell asleep during 3 segments of this because it was so bad. Second of all, because it's so bad that we're just monotone. We're just talking into the microphone. I'm trying to entertain the people at least a little bit. It's so bad.
Yeah, Raw. Dude, you're killing me here.
Don't make us give you the SmackDown treatment.
Yeah, I don't. You don't want the SmackDown treatment where we just come here and then for like 30 to 35 minutes ramble off stuff, go home, goodbye. You don't want that, Raw. So, main event, Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. The Disciples immediately come out. And then they have a fight, a brawl on the outside of the ring with the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. Kevin Owens gets distracted multiple times during this match from Seth Rollins. Probably wondering why I'm not talking about the match itself, because
it didn't matter.
It literally didn't matter. They didn't care, so they basically the focus was whatever was happening on the outside of the ring. One distraction does lead to a draping hangman's DDT from Randy Orton to Kevin Owens, and then something weird happens. We get the Winnipeg Screwjob?
Yeah, man. Every time you go to Canada, you have to make a Screwjob reference.
God, Vince isn't going to be happy until, like, freaking, I don't even know.
Until he's not allowed back in Canada?
Yeah, I don't know. What is your, like, sick, like, seduction with just taunting Bret Hart? Like, we get it. It happened.
Bret screwed Bret. We understand.
Yes. So we get a fast count from the referee to everyone's shock. I mean, it's not often that I'm surprised by something that happens in wrestling, but that kind of was like, huh?
Shocking. The Canadian guy got a fast count in Canada. Wow. Creative.
Well, I mean, this is the second time that they've been in Canada in recent weeks, so I was kind of surprised that I thought we had kind of moved past that WWE, but nope. I guess not. So,
never.
Yeah, fast count, and then Randy Orton RKO's Kevin Owens, and then Seth Rollins throws in 2 steel chairs into the ring. He's telling Randy to give in to your voices, Randy. You know what you have to do. He wants Randy to hit Kevin Owens with a concerto. And he's about to oblige, but then Owens just pops up. Grabs the steel chair. It's going to be Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton facing off. Randy just kind of drops the chair, gets out the ring, wants no part of it. And then the referee grabs the chair out of Kevin Owens' hands. So then Kevin Owens gets out the ring, grabs the referee, throws him into the ring.
Grabs him by his shirt.
And
realizes there's an undershirt.
Yeah, rips off the shirt and realizes that he's wearing a Seth Rollins Monday Night Messiah t-shirt. He is a disciple of the Monday Night Messiah. Seth Rollins goes, I don't know.
Wait, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I don't even know this guy.
I know nothing about that.
So then Kevin Owens stuns the ref. So when Seth Rollins goes, that was a good human being. That is a good person. He has the chair in his hand. Crowd's going nuts. And then he puts down the chair. Says, no. Gets out the ring. Grabs a table. And then puts the referee powerbomb through the table. And that, my friends, is how Monday Night Raw goes off the air. With the 2020 Winnipeg Screwjob.
Match of the night.
Match of the night I have as Angel Garza versus Umberto Carrillo.
Garza and Carrillo.
And then my MVP It's going to be Montez Ford because I feel like tonight was his coming out party. Fantastic on the mic, and then we all knew that he was extremely athletic, and he showed it in this match tonight. He looked really good, and he didn't, like I said, again, he didn't get squashed by Rollins. It was a pretty back-and-forth match. So, good on you, Montez. I said that I think he's going to make a fantastic solo competitor. Not saying that I want them to break up the Street Profits, but I think that he'd be fantastic on his own. So would Angelo Dawkins, just not as much because, flippy stuff. So, that's my MVP.
Kevin Owens?
Yeah?
I guess. Let's move past the depressing thing that was Monday Night Raw. Let's go ahead and talk about what is upcoming this week. So we have the Wednesday Night Wars, which will be coming your way in just a couple of days here.
Also, we do have the realization that we are officially on iTunes.
What?
Yes, our podcast has officially been confirmed by Apple, so we are now live on iTunes. We are now waiting for the reconfirmation from Google Play, so once that comes through, we will let you guys know. But as of right now, we are on iTunes podcast.
Yes, so we are now going to be available on iTunes. Google Play will be shortly following. Spotify is available as well as the YouTubes where most of you find us.
And Podbean as well.
Oh, gotta plug Podbean, dude.
Absolutely.
They're not even our sponsor. We love those guys.
We just love Podbean. You guys are great. But then we did acknowledge that, we're going to be making a change on Friday nights. Again, probably following this Friday night because of the appearance of one John Cena.
We'll see how well it goes.
Yeah, but definitely we're gonna give it a shot, and we're gonna see if you guys like it or not. It'll probably become a mainstay, but SmackDown's just been so bad lately that it's really hard for us to continue on making content that not only we enjoy making, but also that we think you guys enjoy watching. So, with that being said, I proposed an idea to my friend here, and I said that why don't we do sort of something different?
Well, and we've talked about it, and I've talked about it with my family, and I've talked about it with some friends too. When the content we watch is bad, our content is bad.
Yes.
Because we don't care.
Yeah.
When you put on bad wrestling, we don't care. You can go back, you can watch anything from the Wednesday Night Wars, and you'll see passion. You'll see happiness, joy, sadness. You'll see all the emotions. You'll see all kinds of jokes. And then go back and watch the last two Friday Night SmackDown reviews.
You can't even watch the last one because we didn't make it. That's how bad SmackDown is.
So we've discussed wrapping up the week, putting a nice little bow on it, getting some news updates from throughout the week. Anything big that happens on SmackDown, we'll mention it. We'll go over it, because we're still going to watch SmackDown before we record. Maybe.
Yeah.
Depending upon if John Cena's on or not. But we want to bring you some original content. We're both passionate creators. We're both artists in our own way. And truthfully, we want to bring you some content that comes from the heart, comes from our ideas. Yeah. So we've come up with a couple of different ideas on some original content that we can bring you. Some dream booking, which is going to be fantastic to watch, and boy, do we have some in store for you. And just some original content, some discussions, conversations, ideas like we just had a very good one that we didn't even think about as a possible podcast, but down the line, the best line of 2020. What was it? We could have a whole hour-long show based around what the best quips from 2020 were towards the end of the year. These are all things that we could be doing instead of sitting here telling you, and Roman had Baron Corbin eat dog food.
Yeah. So, the key element is that we're going to be breaking down things that big news throughout the week of wrestling, and also just talking about things that we kind of enjoy about wrestling. Like he said, we're going to have some original content. We're going to be experimenting a little bit. The format's not going to be the same week by week. It's going to be just us trying new things, trying to figure out what the hell we're doing up here.
Right, because quite frankly, SmackDown's not working.
No.
Our viewership is growing, but not as quickly as we'd probably like.
And SmackDown typically tends to be our worst viewed video of the week because it's very clear to us that you guys don't care about SmackDown because we don't care about SmackDown. I did propose the idea as well to him that in the future if SmackDown it remains terrible and if the idea that we're working on now doesn't pan out, that we could start reviewing WWE NXT UK because we know that's amazing. That's always going to be good.
Right.
And now, of course, that NXT UK in the UK is now being broadcast on free television.
It is a television show.
Yes, so it would meet our parameters that we created for ourselves for reviewing shows.
Although I suppose we could just do whatever we want. We are the owners.
Yes. But, so that's something that we might do in the future, barring things not working out with what we're planning on doing. So that's going to be cool. Like I said, we're not going to dive too deep into this tonight because we will be making another video. It's kind of explaining what we're going to be doing and also going into said format. So,
but I would like to give you 2 pieces of information on the first 2 sets of fantasy bookings we are going to be doing.
You got to leave a little content for them, right?
Oh, we're going to leave content for them. We mentioned the possibility of a World Wrestling Classic. We are going to book a world in which Vince has disappeared and the World Wrestling Classic takes place. And we're going to give you our thoughts on how we should build to WrestleMania 36.
Yes. So that's just a little preview.
A little spoiler.
That's all you get. That's all you get.
Just a little teaser.
No more. I'm shutting him down. No more. Because knowing him, he'd give away everything. So
I like them to know, so they tune in.
If they want to know, they're follow us on social media and they're subscribed. That's how you stay tuned. Don't give them anything. They don't deserve it.
Oh man, you're turning heel at the end again. Now we do have to give a very special thank you. I don't know if it has happened at this point yet. We're at 20 followers, 20 subscribers.
It's at this point that, like the Big Show, I'm going to turn face again. Because no, seriously, thank you guys for 20 subs. 20 subs.
Normally, a YouTube channel probably wouldn't do like a celebration or a little thing till 50.
Yeah, and I'm not. Because I'm not satisfied. I'm never satisfied with...
Feed me more.
Yeah, the Wrevolution is ever growing, ever expanding, and I want us to keep pushing forward. And if I'm satisfied at 20 subs, I mean, come on now.
Look, I'm not satisfied at 20 subs, but I will be at 25. So at 25, there is a possibility we could come up with something. Oh, hate to do the other channel promotion stuff, but shout out to our boy Adam Blampier. Welcome back to the wrestling world, Wrestle Talk. Thanks for picking our boy up.
Yeah, welcome back to the YouTubes, and good to have you back.
Technically, in the current tenure, the 2 of us have been doing it longer than you now, so...
That is fair.
Yikes.
It's because we're better than you.
And you know it.
So, with that being said...
we're going to go ahead and sign off. We, of course, invite you to subscribe like the 20 brilliant, beautiful, amazing people that have.
Make sure you ring the notification bell, because if you don't do that and you're subscribed, then your subscription means nothing. It's pointless.
Because you wouldn't want to miss the hottest, rising, up-and-coming, most amazing professional wrestling podcast in the history of the world today.
If you do subscribe and you ring the notification bell, then that makes you a better person. You know, it puts you on the upper echelon, the elite of wrestling fans and supporters of wrestling podcasts.
The elite?
Yes, the elite. So while you're subscribing and hitting said bell, you could also follow us on Twitter.
You'll notice I did the elite with the V1. Get it? The Bucks of Youth.
Yeah. Yeah, you could also follow us on Facebook and all the other social media things. As I said before, Wrevolution Pro Wrestling Podcast is available, obviously, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Podbean, and now, for the first time ever, iTunes. Waiting on you, Google. So, with that being said...
And I would just like to say, we are very thankful for every single one of you who does tune in to watch and to listen, and suffers through nights like Monday and Friday with us. That being said, tune in Wednesday, because it's going to be good. Oh, how can we forget? Super Showdown's on Thursday.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do anything with
Super Showdown!
Not sure what's happening with that. I talked to him. I said that might be a no-go.
We'll put it in the weekend recap.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a weekend recap, because not a big fan of supporting the Blood Money show.
Me either.
So,
and that's exactly where I'm at with you. They don't deserve their own show on our channel. We'll tell you outcomes of the matches.
We'll talk about it a little bit.
If there was anything particularly cool, like if Taker shows up, like, sure, we'll tell you, but...
It's probably not going to be, because it's a foreign pay-per-view, so...
But we will tell you the outcomes of the matches. That's about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit.
If you decide to watch it and support such a thing, all the more power to you. My name is Nick Cavalli, live from Studio 6.
I've been Marques White. And also live from Studio 6. By the way, I give our studio a 5.
God, I'm sick. Anyways, we invite you to join the Wrevolution. Y'all have a 5 out of 5 night.